Hello! Welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of Principal's Revenge. Part 3 by Jerome Schlicker. Good morning, Mom, Amanda says as she walks into the kitchen, and starts to make herself some eggs and toast, for breakfast. Good morning, Amanda, honey, her mom replies. Do you want anything special for breakfast, Mom? No, just coffee and toast will do, because today at the station we are having a catered lunch. It was the chief's idea. He told everyone last night about it at the end of the day. Mom, I was wondering something for a while now. What is it, honey? Well, Mom, I was wondering if Uncle Charles told you or anybody else, where he got that organic nanotech he transformed me with. Well, Amanda, I can ask about that, but no promises. Amanda, you are not the only one who wants to know that. Now let's get you to school, Amanda. Call me if there is any trouble. You know I will, Mom, Amanda said to her mom. Mom, have a good day at work. I'll try, came a reply. A few minutes later at the police station, Michelle is greeted by the chief, who said, "Good morning, Officer Burnsville." "Morning, sir," was her reply. "Sir, can we talk in your office?" "Yes, now what's on your mind?" "Well, Amanda and myself were wondering if my brother Charles said anything about where he got the organic nanotech from." "I'm afraid he did. He told the judge that he acquired the nanotech from a company called Biotech International, which was a company that he was half owner of." "Oh! I see, but how did he get the school's doctor and nurse to go along with it?" "Officer Burnsville, he never said anything about how he got them to cooperate with him. If you like, I can ask them for the information on that question." The chief made a call to the prison and asked the warden to see if they had an answer. About an hour later, Officer Pierce told the chief that he had a phone call from the warden. After 15 minutes, the chief said, "Michelle, Burnsville, they said they cooperated with your brother because he blackmailed them both." "Well, at least I can tell Amanda that some of our questions have been answered." After the catered lunch, which was in celebration of the chief's birthday, Officer Burnsville and Officer Jerome Jackson went on their patrol, and it was a slow day. Officer Burnsville wrote about 30 parking tickets, and escorted 3 boys back to school in an attempt to play hooky. Then it was back to the station and about an hour of paperwork and filing. At 5 p.m. Mrs. Burnsville arrived home and told Amanda that her uncle had gotten the nanotech from a company that he was part owner of, and blackmailed the old school doctor Everett Stoner and the school nurse Emily Berg into helping him out. "Amanda, honey, have you finished your homework yet?" "Yes, Mom, I finished it, about 5 minutes ago." "Mom, how was your day?" "It was fine, and the reason for the catered lunch was it is the chief's birthday." "Well, Mom, tomorrow tell him I said happy birthday." "Of course, dear. I hope you aren't full because I made a meatloaf with gravy, mashed potatoes, a salad, and a strawberry jello cake." "Sounds good." After dinner, we watched a movie. Amanda asked her mom if she was going to see her boyfriend, Mr. Watterson. "We have plans for tomorrow, but he said he wanted to keep it a surprise on just what we are doing." "Cool, maybe he will take you to a dinner and a movie. Maybe he might take you up to Inspiration Point. He knows that if he does anything wrong I wouldn't hesitate to arrest him. I am sure he'll be on his best behavior, Mom." The next day, as I was going into school, Miss Slaughter and Miss Honeybee asked me if I could come to the office. I asked, a little confused, did I do something wrong? "No, Amanda, we just haven't talked to you in a while." "Well, everything is going well, and I found out last night that my uncle got the nanotech from a company that he partially owned. He also blackmailed the old school doctor and nurse into helping him." "I see," Miss Slaughter said. "Amanda, Miss Slaughter began, you are a straight student. I want you to drop by the gym after school because someone signed you up for the cheerleader tryouts." "I had no idea about that. So whoever signed your name to the tryout sheet did it without your knowledge?" "Yes, ma'am. If you want to try out, tryouts are at 4 p.m. "Okay, see, my name is on the sign up page for cheerleading, I will give it a try. I have to get to class now, I will see you after classes." "Amanda, Miss Honeybee told me I will walk you to your first class. After all the classes are done, I head over to the gym, and Miss Slaughter said I see you're willing to try tryouts after all." After 2 hours of tryouts I went home as sore as can be. Mom and me walked in the door together and I told her about the situation with the tryouts, and she asked me, "How do you think you did?" "I don't know, I was told the results of the tryouts will be posted tomorrow at the gym." "Well, Amanda, I hope you make the team. In a way, I hope I do too. Amanda, dear, get started on your homework, and I will make us dinner. After dinner I spent about 2 hours on my homework and then went to bed. As I got into bed I thought to myself, thank God it's Friday. I woke up around 11 AM. So I went with my mom to the mall, and we went into the salon and had our hair done, then went to the food court. I got a foot-long sub from Subway, while my mom got her favorite wrap, a chicken guacamole with a coffee. Afterwards, Mom met Mr. Watterson and some of my friends from school came over. Hey, Amanda, let's go see the new movie at the cinema. I don't even know what's playing. The new movie is called Terminator 3. Amanda, Mom says here is $20 for the ticket and some popcorn and maybe even a soda. Thanks, Mom! I reply. We head over to the theater and get the tickets, and there was just enough to get a medium popcorn and a medium drink. After the movie, I asked the manager if I could get an application. He asked how old I was because he told me that I would have to be 18 years old to work there. Bummer! I said that means I have to wait 3 years. I am sorry to hear that, but the law is the law. I understand. Amanda told him my mom would tell me that as well. You see, sir, my mom is a policewoman. I got home around 6 o'clock and I let my mom know that I asked about a job and what the manager told me. My mother said that he was correct. She also said that even working part-time in certain jobs, that person has to be 16 with a work permit. Next year I may be able to get you a work permit for part-time work. Why don't you talk about this with Miss Slaughter towards the end of the school year? On Monday morning, I asked Miss Slaughter what it would take to get a work permit. She said that we could discuss what type of work I want to do. I told her that I tried to apply to the cinema on Saturday and she said that I would have to wait for that, and said that she would see what jobs part-time of course I might be able to get. Then I went to my classes. At lunch, Miss Slaughter brought a short list of job opportunities for a 15-year-old. There was 10 jobs on it, including babysitting. I thanked her and went to my next class, which is home economics, which is at times boring. Today we were learning about how to sew a hemline. I did alright, not the best but not the worst either. After school I went to the gym, for you guessed it, I made the cheerleading squad. We put in all our efforts into it because we were have a football game on Saturday night. Every day we practiced our routines and spent twice the time on Friday afternoon. That Saturday morning Mom told me that those at the station who were not working will be there to watch the game. Tonight Rockville Tigers will be playing against the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets are from Bayside Academy. Mom said, I wonder if Mark Anthony will be on the team? Of course, the last time I saw Hy he was being pulled out of school by the ear wearing a dress. She said with a chuckle in her voice. Mrs. Burnsville walked over to the phone and called Mr. Anthony. Hello Mr. Anthony, this is Officer Burnsville. I was wondering if your son made the football team at Bayside Academy. The reason I am asking is because I was told that the football team, the Charlotte Hornets, was playing at Rockville Central School. This is the first I am hearing about it, Officer Burnsville. Of course I have been busy not only at work but I also have to watch my granddaughter. Yeah, my son had a baby with that slut Jennifer Brady. If you see my son, tell him that not only is he a father, but Mr. and Mrs. Brady disown their own daughter and want nothing to do with their granddaughter. If I see him I will pass along the information. Personally, Mr. Anthony, I hope you and your wife do come to the game just in case he is there. The game starts at 6 p.m. according to the school's website. Alright, I will discuss it with my wife and see if she wants to go. But I am not making any promises to be there. After my mom hung up the phone she said, Amanda honey, what time are you expected to be there? I am supposed to be at the field and ready to go by 5:30 p.m. Right now, it's 3 p.m. Why don't you get yourself ready for the game and we'll get something to eat at Perkins Restaurant, which is 2 blocks away from the stadium where the big game is going to be. I was ready in no time and so was Mom. We got to the restaurant by 3:30 p.m. Mom and me had a half-pounder with fries and a cola. I arrived at the stadium at 4:40 p.m. This football game started at 6 p.m. and was over at 8 p.m. My mom asked the Hornets coach if Marcus Anthony was on the team and he said that he was ineligible because of his grades. The coach asked her, why are you asking about him? Well, first I would like to introduce myself. I am Officer Burnsville and I have a message for him. Alright, Officer Burnsville, is it? Yes, that's right. Ma'am, just write the message and I'll see that he gets it. Officer Burnsville wrote, Mr. Anthony, first of all, you and Jennifer Brady had a child together, or as your father put it, you and that slut had a daughter together, and her parents disowned her and the child, so your parents are raising her. Officer Burnsville handed the coach the note. He said, I will make sure that he gets it as soon as we get back. The game's final score was Rockville Tigers 42 and the Hornets scored 38. Amanda, honey, you are great out there. I noticed that Mr. and Mrs. Anthony were nowhere to be found. Yeah, honey, I noticed that as well. Let's go home. Hey! Amanda, you looked absolutely amazing out there, said Mason. Thank you, Alexander, said Amanda. Only a handful of students didn't show up for the game tonight. Mom, I know everyone at school on Monday will be talking about the game. Hey! Amanda said as she walks over to Amanda. You really look good in that outfit. Her cheerleading uniform consists of a red and blue shirt with the school logo, blue dress, slacks, white bobby socks and white sneakers. A few hours later, the football team from Bayside Academy pulls in and the whole school is there to greet them. When the coach gets off the bus, he yells Mr. Anthony front and center. Mr. Anthony walked up to him and says, yes sir. I have a message for you from your father, and was delivered through one Officer Burnsville. He read the note and passed out. The headmaster told several students to pick him up and take him to his room. The 2 students did exactly as they were told. The rest of you return to your dorms now. Meanwhile, back at the Burnsville home, everyone was celebrating the victory with a pizza party until 11 p.m. After the party was over, everyone went home themselves. Mom, why don't we clean up everything in the morning before we leave for church services? That is a good idea. At 6 a.m. we spent about 2 hours cleaning up and went to church services. After the services we went home and took a nap, and then we spent a quiet day watching a few educational programs and a few movies and called it a day.